Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of the Iron Thief, where we're playing in first person mode. No, we're just walking around. I do like to do this every now and then. Look at that. Baby beavers. Am I a baby beaver? I feel like I'm as tall as... Look at this guy. I'm not as tall as this guy. Actually, I might be. Yeah, I'm as tall as this guy. Oh, I didn't know they had blue eyes. Very cool. Right. Anyways, need to focus a little bit more on doing something meaningful. Last time we had expanded our area right there, and this time, very importantly so, we need more science, because who doesn't need more science? Because ultimately, the main purpose in this episode is to get our iron production going, which feels a bit strange because, not iron, our metal production going. Still feels strange because I usually start with gears. That makes me also think we do need to start with gears because our smelter needs gears. So let's go ahead and work on that. So let's go into wood. 100 science we need in order to place down our gear workshop, and we'll end up with 100 science as soon as the next day has started. This way we will start producing a ton more gears, and then ultimately we'll be able to build our metal production, which will then help us with overall water retention and water storage. That is something that we will also need to figure out sooner rather than later. And initially we had sort of set this area aside here for more trees, but maybe this up here will become for berries. And then we could put a staircase actually in. So let's plan for this right here. So our beavers can still reach up there for the remainder of, well, they can also still walk around there, but it feels hopefully then a little bit more put together. Right. You guys probably don't have anything to do. We do have the science now actually for the gear workshop, so let's place it down right there. Yes, 100 science points, highest priority, and they will do nothing because it's the middle of the night. Excellent. So let's go ahead, put in some oak trees back here. And actually, I already know the smelter is 4 deep, so that means we can place a few more oaks all around there. I also think it will be quite useful to have a... Oh, actually, hold on. No. Shoot. I'm too slow. Here we go. Whew. It will be quite useful to have a power shaft connection up this way. So we're gonna leave this empty. What are you guys doing? Come on, build it. Ooh, we don't have any builders. Right. Need to slow down some of this. Actually, let's for now pause our lumber mill. That gives us 2 builders. Beavers are thirsty. 1 water pump doesn't seem to be doing the trick anymore. Even though we're only at 17 and that should be kind of doing okay. Nonetheless, let's make this the highest priority because we definitely need it. I'll also unpause you again because you're gonna eat up some of our planks. So sooner rather than later, we need more planks. We also need a total of 20 gears. So let's go ahead and plan a bit of storage up there. Just gonna connect it up like that, and that will give us enough space to put... Actually, let's just put 2 more of these in here. No, actually just 1. And 1 small industrial pile. So you can store gears and you can store metal blocks whenever we are producing some metal blocks. No power down here, so I can pause both of you. Meaning we will unpause our inventors, because the main thing that we really need right now is science. Alright, we do have 100 already. We need another 150, I think, for the smelter. The scavenger flag, and another 300 for the smelter. So that makes me think probably should put in more of the breeding pods so we get our beavers a little bit faster. So 1, 2, leave the gap in the middle. Still with a happiness of 8 overall, I think we're doing pretty well. Happiness of 9, look at that. Wet fur is actually doing okay as well. I guess that is in part because of this shower, which I should actually not utilize right now. Yeah. Because we need to keep the water down here for a little bit longer, so hopefully our mangrove trees will grow up. Right. I am too impatient. We're going to remove you. And then we're going to set this area already to be planted with berries. Now, once those over here grew up and actually are carrying some berries, we will place our gatherer right here. That should be able to deal with the mangroves. And although I don't quite know if he can reach all of this back here. We'll see. We will see. All right. That means, though, we have removed the shower. So we should place it somewhere to keep the happiness up. Well-being, where's the shower? Double shower is here. I mean, I guess we had talked about utilizing this area for a swimming pool instead. I wonder if a swimming pool uses up a ton of water. Let's go ahead and put it down. The only benefit of the shower is the wet fur, and they do get that from the swimming pool as well, so why not plan for that already. And ultimately, the goal is to have a massive storage area of water over here. So that part should actually be doing okay. Also reminds me, kind of need to plan ahead of that. And the easiest way of getting this set up is actually to, yeah, that's not what I meant to do, to remove the planting of our crops back there. Probably just removing all of this. So we have one layer out here with levees that we can build up. And then we also need to think on the other side. So we will keep it over here. And that means probably ideally just close it off like that. And then we can actually just put in, I think the easiest way, because we'll probably build them from the top, would be to add more levees up this way, because I don't think they can reach this from up here. Or we go ahead and place it on the other side. Not bad, not bad. So let's plan for that. All right. We should also actually go ahead and put some berry storage somewhere, maybe a bit closer to where we need everything. So let's go ahead and put that in here. Set you to the highest priority. Can remove this part. And then long term, we also need to figure out more food production space, which up here could be a nice area for additional food production. Need to see what the situation looks like with the bad water source, or maybe we'll place more food production back here. But, you know, one step at a time. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. All right. So this is coming along quite nicely. They actually have chopped down some more trees over here, so we should be able to place these in there as well. And nobody has harvested this part yet. Cool. We have a ton of science now, though. That is good, because that means, yep, scrap metaller goes up here whenever they are done building this. Now we still need a 100 and 210, 11 science to build our smelter right there. It is a bit of a journey for them. Oh, look how many logs we actually have. I'm very excited about this. All right. Also 2 water pumpers. Look at that. Water storage is filling up as well. And with so many logs, you bet your butt we're gonna add our levee system in here already. Leave a gap of 3, actually. 3 sluices that we're gonna build down here. And then we can already start building all of this up. Starting to look good, I think. All right. What else can we conceivably think about? It would actually be nice, and I don't quite know how we're going to add that in here without actually having access to tunnels, to connect this up with a potential power source back here for when the bad water is coming down this way. You know what's the perfect size over here? Large water wheels. Could put 2 in there, 1 on either side. I don't hate that idea. Maybe even just 1, and then we close up the other side. That should give us plenty of power, and then we can run our industry area over this section even during a bad tide, because right now there's just no power. Nothing to be done without power. I guess that happens. How are our 2 beavers that are currently our builders getting along with building stuff? I guess slowly, nothing too fancy. Our farmers are struggling to get this done, but look at our food sources going down. So let's go ahead and place another farmhouse here. They can definitely help with the collecting of stuff. And then it's probably also time to think of additional food. Cassavas are very likely the easiest one to add to the whole system. And then at some point we'll just need to figure out where we're gonna put the fermenter. That obviously needs some additional power. But even just with the added helpers over here, I think we should be doing much better in terms of supplying our beavers with enough food to survive. All right, you have grown up. That's pretty good, I would say. I guess we do have a ton of berries. We still have berries here and there. But you know what? You're already gone. And then I will... kind of good, but it still means we're short 1 worker. Don't need more lumberjacks right now, so I'll pause 1 down here, 1 up here, so we have it a bit spread out. And that means we still have 2 builders to help us with what needs to be done. Right, I do think once all of this is in, we're kind of okay in terms of water for the entire game. Now, one thing that I learned way too late is you just need to overbuild your water storage by so much. That also reminds me though, now that I look at it, we do need to have space to connect these up across the corners so our beavers can actually walk on top of it and get everything sorted for us. All right, there we go. I guess you're at 11%. I will remove you. You're a new one, you're a new one. Okay. Nope, second farmhouse is in. Food production still stable. Again, nothing to call home about, but it's doing all right. However, we do have enough science for a smelter, so smelter goes in. Perfect. And now we can also pause some more of our inventor, just one of our inventor huts, because ultimately we just need science. Need a ton of it, actually. Let's also high prioritize both of these to be carried over whenever they can. The berries can actually go already, some of it at least. And then, again, keep building all of this up. We can also plan already a second height over here. The mouse just froze. Put a levee in there. There we go. Regular, well, bad drought ended. We're in a regular season again, which is good because they need some water. I mean, they're still okay for a while, but it will definitely be useful. Also have technically a ton of these. How far do you reach? All the way down here, actually. So I can pause you. Well, we still have one of you available. What's our plank situation? We're lacking planks, so let's unpause this. We also need to unpause the gear workshop. Just so we actually end up with the gears that we need. Let me also go ahead and double check in terms of how far you can reach. You can just about get down there, but that's about it. So what if we actually remove this lumberjack's flag and put a gatherer flag here? You can almost reach all of this. So not quite, which makes me think we're removing this one tree and put our gatherer flag there. You should be able to reach all of that across the board, which again will be very, very nice. All right. We also need to plan actually a way down here in order to do anything down here. So let's put in a levee there. And then 2 staircases, one there and one there. So they can get down here and build the sluice system. Yeah, we want to put it at the bottom, to be honest. Because when we're running out of water, we are probably happy to have everything that we can down here. Okay. Nonetheless, they've done a good job over this way. Let's put in the second layer. Another drought approaching. Still no bad time. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. How are things coming along here? We should actually put a storage, small industrial pile right there that stores our scrap metal. So our scrap metaler up here doesn't get bored. Would be a shame if they do. Right, we don't have enough material to finish this. So let's see if we can't actually prioritize all of these in the meantime. We do have 4 builders. We do have a ton of logs. Still need a bit more scrap metal. I guess we didn't need to put this in while they're putting in the scrap metal down here. We need a ton more planks. Wow. All right. Need to get you back in. 1 unemployed beaver. Let's get you back in. And then there's that. Overall, I think we're doing pretty well in terms of overall systems placed. Can even walk between the trees. It's very nice. Hey, somebody needs to clean up on E03. Looks cool. And you appreciate the blueprints a little bit more when you're down here. Or just imagine starting to build a dam like this. So nice. I love the waterfall as well. I mean, the waterfall will likely disappear at some point, but, you know. Anyways. What happened to this? Berries, berries. Nobody is gathering them. I guess this is still full-ish. Right. But either way, they're making good progress over this way. What we can actually do is normal prioritize the corners. I've already built this corner. Top one doesn't need to be the highest priority. So that will hopefully streamline this a little bit more. No more space available. I mean, we could put in a little bit more storage. Do we really need it? Not quite. So should we bother? I don't quite know. What we should probably be bothering with. Not enough science, 200. Oh, you also need 30 planks. I need just so many planks, it's crazy. Alright, 26 beavers right now. 6 are homeless. Now that is not a good thing to see. So we should go ahead and put down another one of these housing units right there. And maybe we'll leave this gap open. So we can put in a levee and then stairs up here and then get to the next level, one level higher. I think that would actually look quite nice. Regardless. This is a very utilitarian build. Building likes material. Really? We've used up all the logs. I do get cocky when we have too many logs. Alright. I can pause the gear workshop now though, because all the gears are in. We do need more planks, but have nothing to do with you guys, right? For you guys right now. A 10-day drought, that's pretty intense. Now I'm actually thinking temporarily we should probably put all of this up here, fill it with trees. So our lumberjacks have a little bit more to do. And then might be worthwhile. We still have the path up this way to get up here. Do we have enough? We don't have enough planks. Ooh, bitter. Oh, bitter is different. Yeah, we do have still some logs. Anyways, would be nice to get this done. I don't think we will. So this might be a little bit of a rough drought. And I have nothing for our beavers to do. I guess we can actually unpause the forester here. Not that you have really anything. Actually, you do have stuff to do because I just set this over here to be planted. And then we're just gonna add more oak trees over this way. Definitely be useful. All right, blueberry seedling, that one here is probably not quite necessary. Things are growing slowly but steadily. Have they actually, they haven't, maybe they have chopped this stuff down already at least once. Oh look, actually the mangrove fruit are in. Still need to wait until this part here has actually been grown or has grown up and then been harvested. Cassavas have been harvested as well. So it would be ultimately nice to get some of the cassavas processed, to be honest. We could, do we have enough logs? We don't have a ton of logs, but we could put in a bit more berry storage, which might be good to have. And maybe actually just up here, because nothing really to store there. So have a proper medium warehouse that we could build, or put down a bunch of smaller ones. So we can build 5 of the small ones for one of these. It's a little bit less storage, but it gives us a bit more flexibility. So you know what? Let's do that. Berries, berries, and set one of the berries, actually 2 of the berry ones to highest priority. Gonna set this one to mangroves. Mangroves. And then maybe we'll store some cassavas. And that might turn into fermented cassavas at some point. Long term, we'll probably rethink the planning of these storage pieces. But until then, let's have our beavers do something. 6 unemployed beavers. Ooh. Ooh. Nothing to... Why aren't you guys cutting this stuff down? Need to unpause this lumberjack. There we go. I have a ton of logs and they're just not being harvested. I guess that happens. Alright. Now, we do have a good amount of science. Not that we need to stop it. But I am a bit worried about the sluice situation down here. So I think what we will do is the same thing that we did up at the top here. Put a single floodgate in there. And then plan in front of it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Enough space for 3 sluices up in front. And then we should be able to already place the levees up here. And technically, this should also allow us to store a bit more water. All right, this has still not been built. And that's because I keep setting everything to super highest priority, which I should not. Actually, these would be nice to get done. So let's do that. And now that I set this levee down here to super highest priority, they're putting all the logs in there. All right. Still 5 unemployed beavers. Okay, trees are at least coming back in again. So that should be, look at that. Now the berries back here are gone, which means I will remove all the paths. Well, first, we don't need them anymore. And second, it means our beavers will not get stuck back here. This should also be on highest priority, even though you can't reach it yet. All right, how's this tree coming along? Almost ready to be cut down. Do you even have anything to cut down right now? No, not really. Okay, I guess. You can still reach all of this, so I'm assuming you will be planting more. Oh, more trees coming in for this guy. Very nice, very nice. All right, with so many unemployed beavers, I think it is also time that we expand our builder capabilities with a builder's hut. Just need to figure out where to place it. Don't know what the point would be to keep it close by. So maybe we'll just place it far out of the way. We could actually place you just up here. So let's do that. Cutting this down. Destroying this, cutting this tree down. Highest priority, please, so it gets done. And then... let's see. Well, it is nighttime. Should also actually build this on highest priority because we have now 9 homeless beavers. That's too many. That is costing them life. Because if they're not super happy, they die early. So, not great. Right. Can actually put in the berries up here. And that tree has been cut down, which is awesome, because that means we can put another gatherer flag in here. It can reach everything. Beautiful. Highest priority on building this. You just need to be connected with a path, so happy to oblige. And all of a sudden, no homeless beavers anymore. You're in as well. Very nice. Let's have you quickly pick some mangrove fruits. Will also increase the happiness for our beavers. And yeah, we're just lacking planks. Oh, you only need 5 more, so that's not bad. So as soon as this connects back in, we're up and running again. But what I am thinking, it'd be good to have a power wheel. Because we can actually... How much is an engine? Yeah, no, that won't work. Vertical shaft here. 40 signs. Let's unlock this. Put a power connection in there. And then we can really just remove some more trees up here. Now, how would I go about this? So our woodcutter can actually still get to the majority of these trees. And you might actually be fine. All right, so let's remove all of you. You're only at 16%. So definitely mark you for demolition, those two as well. And then we can focus on building this up. Priority is still on the stairs. And I should prioritize all of these so we have at least the benefit of 1 level of height for our beavers. And then we could even just do all of us, to be honest. Oh, future worries. Alright, let's go ahead and hyper-prioritize the chopping of this and the building. The vertical shaft won't be done because it does need planks. Oh, we did want to put down the builder set. Can go right here. Yes, please. Need 10 planks. Yeah. So many bored beavers. Anyways, large power wheel. Let's put you in there and then make sure we're connecting these up as well. Again, highest priority on all of this. Well, we do need to wait to have enough planks. It's a bit early to unpause, but I guess they have nothing else to do. But look at that, we're actually not... We haven't lost all the water for our mangroves, but... Ooh, we've almost pumped out the entire water back here. Food supply is dwindling as well. I guess those two are struggling to keep stuff going. Unfortunately, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I don't think so, guys. But what would be useful, and I know we kind of kept this area here technically for the swimming pool, but we can actually put this in. We do have enough logs for this. And then unpause you with just 1 beaver in there. Actually, technically don't even need to do that immediately. Good, good. Regular cycle is back, which means we'll now get some... Oh, look at that. That's actually in. So I could raise you. And that should just help. I'm a bit worried that there's not enough space for these outflows to let all the water go through. Yep, it's not. Alright, Briefly flooded everything. That is fine. Need to set a recipe for you. So fermented cassavas. So we're getting a bit more food in. How is the thing back here coming along? You're obviously building the staircases first. And to be honest, that might make the most sense. How do we have so many unemployed? I guess because this is still flooded. I mean, we could asynchronize these. Let it flow out in this direction. And even if it fills up, no, it's actually fine. Right, happiness has now increased to 10. Awesome. Also, fermented cassavas means happier beavers. And also should be storing the fermented cassavas in here rather than the regular cassavas. And I'm giving them 2 of them, well, whenever they can. Because they're just more important. Right, we do have an injured beaver. So let's quickly sort that out. Well-being, medical bed, easy peasy, 80 science, yes please. Highest priority on that. Good, they're now building everything back here. That is actually in. And maybe I should even... No, we're gonna put in levies over this way. No. Let's delete that. We should actually high prioritize this. Too many things to high prioritize. Normal priority for this. We can and should then just put these in, highest priority. As they are building this up. Will that actually have enough space to flow underneath? It should. Still free space down here. It's a bit of a back and forth because of all the stuff they're building, I guess. Let's keep this completely open for now. Until they have built, you can't actually reach that. That unfortunately makes sense. 150 science. Let's go ahead and no, place that like this. And then put these on highest priority. So we can hopefully get into that top layer. Look at that. Smelter is in as well. And once they are put in, we will replace, once these things are put in. Actually, hold on. What is happening? I just wanna, there we go. Don't need to do that. Instead, we're gonna put in a levee. We do have plenty of wood, and then just staircases up this way. There we go. Highest priority on both of these. And this way, very soon, we'll be able to put some storage in. Scrap metal is stored. Gears are still a few gears. Why do we have so many unemployed beavers? Alright, anyways. I think overall, we're in a good situation. And I think that means I'm going to end the episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.